What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games, and in today's video, I'm going to show you the best shiny hunting methods to capture every single Paradox Pokemon in both Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. So if you want to get all the shiny Paradoxes, this is going to be the best video for you. And of course, guys, if you're new to the channel or enjoy my type of content, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it, and consider joining the Pan Fam today by hitting that join member button below. So to begin, we are going to be at Area 0, and we're going to be at the 0 gate. Now, this is where we're going to be making all of our sandwiches. So whenever I make a new sandwich, we're going to be starting right here at the 0 gate, because you cannot set up a picnic within Area 0. You can't even see the map or anything like that. But of course, before we begin anything, you always want to save your game before beginning any sort of hunts. The reason being is if you don't get the shiny within the 30 minutes, or you make a mistake on your sandwich, you can just reload your save and nothing bad happened to you. So always save before you start. Now, I'm in Pokemon Scarlet, so I'm going to be doing the Pokemon Scarlet hunts first, and I'm going to be setting up a picnic right here. Now, for our very first picnic, I'm going to be going for a fighting type sandwich, and we're going to be hunting for the Pokemon Slitherwing with this pretty awesome method. Now, the fighting type sandwich I'm going to be using is going to be 1 pickle and double salty, but check out the recipes on the side here, and you'll see all the other ways that you can make this sandwich as well. And there we go, sparkling title and counter level 3 for fighting type Pokemon, and ready to begin this hunt. So for Slitherwing, we're going to actually enter Area 0 by jumping off the side, and this is going to take us to the very beginning of Area 0. And with a fighting type sandwich, we are going to get some other fighting type Pokemon to spawn. However, that's actually not going to be a problem once we complete this setup. So here we are at the very beginning of Area 0. As you can see, we fell down from here, and now we're at the very beginning. And we got a lot of Slitherwing, which is actually pretty lucky RNG. Sometimes you may see 0 Slitherwings, because you'll probably see like Palmies and the Meta-type Metachan line here. What you're going to do is you're going to walk up to all the Palmies and Metachans, and we do have a group of Palmies right here, and we're going to auto-battle all of them. And the thing is, when we auto-battle them, we are going to be getting Slitherwing spawning in, because they're going to be the only single Pokemon that can spawn in. The Metatites and the Palmies are all group spawns. So as you can see, we're going to, whenever you kill one, we get a new one spawning in. And now we have 15. And now pretty much what we're going to do here is we're going to stay here, and we're just going to let our Pokemon that is auto-battling just auto-battle, and we're going to get a bunch of new spawns coming in. And whenever you see a Pokemon that isn't Slitherwing that spawns in, somehow that can happen. You want to make sure you eliminate those first, and then you'll get a bunch of new Slitherwings. And this is definitely going to be the best way to shiny hunt this Pokemon. It's pretty chill and pretty much automatic. And hopefully get this shiny within a sandwich or two. It's very obvious. It's going to have a purple tail instead of the green, and it's also going to be full yellow for its wings instead of that red color. So you got to really stand here and do this, and eventually you'll get that shiny Slitherwing. And of course, with a fighting type sandwich, we can actually, you know, if you finish this hunt pretty early, you can use this fighting type sandwich and go over and get another shiny really quickly for Pokemon Scarlet. Now for our next hunt, we're gonna go for Great Tusk, and I still have that fighting type sandwich from before, so definitely check out the recipe that we did previously for the Slitherwing on the screen here. Now for Great Tusk, we're actually gonna go to Research Area 4 in Area 0, which is the last research center. And with this fighting type sandwich, we're actually only going to be able to get Great Tusk down here. If you do a ground type sandwich, you will be getting like Digletts and Dugtrios, and we don't really want any of those because we want to be able to isolate shiny hunt this. Now there is a phenomenal exploit method for Great Tusk here. As you can see, they're spawning all over. So from Research Area 4, we're going to go all the way down, and we're going to be making a right at this sign over here. And the beauty of this spot is you can actually do this for so many of the Paradox Pokemon that we're going to be pretty much just at this spot for most of the video. So we're going to jump onto these 2 crystals right over here on the right side, and we're going to glide over to the second crystal. And now we're going to be at this crystal looking at this rock right here, and you want to get to the edge of the rock. Now at the edge of this rock, you're actually going to be able to get 15 spawns just like that. Sometimes they spawn in the back, sometimes they're a little bit slow to fully pop in, but you actually get a full 15, which is crazy. Now the crazier part is, if you walk backwards, and yes, you will get new spawns coming in, so sometimes a shiny will appear while you're walking back, so maybe you want to walk slow, you'll despawn them on. And then just run in, and then you get another 15. And we're just going to keep doing this until we get our shiny Great Tusk. And this is a phenomenal method. It works for, I think, actually 9 of the Paradox Pokemon in the game. More than half of the Paradox Pokemon can be shiny hunted with this method. You just got to use the right sandwich and also be in the right version of the game. But once again, we're just going to go back and forth until we eventually get this shiny Great Tusk. This is going to make this shiny super easy to obtain. And the shiny is super obvious. It's like a green and yellow shiny. It's going to stick out from the crowd, so you don't really have to worry about paying attention. You just could be like, okay, I see one that's bright yellow. Bam, that's my shiny Great Tusk. But yeah, you should probably be able to get this within a sandwich or two, especially with this crystal reset method. And the crystal does not lie. This isn't the same sandwich from the Slitherwing, and we got this within 12 minutes. So that's actually pretty phenomenal. This was very little resetting, and we got that easy shiny Paradox Great Tusk. And this Pokemon's phenomenal in VGC, so I highly recommend getting this thing. It's going to be like an amazing Pokemon for your team, so definitely try to get this. And let's move on to our next shiny hunt. Now for our next hunt, we're going to be doing Fluttermane, and it's very important that you do this one during the day because you get a crazy good exploit for this method here. So one, it's daytime. We're going to make a ghost type sandwich. Don't make a fairy type sandwich because you'll also be getting Screamtail, and you really do not want to get Screamtail here. Now, for a ghost type sandwich, it's going to be very easy. I'm going to do 1 red onion and double salties for this one. And there we have it. Sparkling Title and Counter level 3 for ghost type Pokemon. Ready to begin this hunt. So once again, we're going to be going back down to Research Area 4. So at Research Area 4, you're going to notice that we have 0 Fluttermane spawns. And that is because there's currently a glitch with Pokemon Scarlet when you're doing a ghost type sandwich during the daytime. Fluttermane won't spawn during the daytime. However, if a shiny Fluttermane does spawn, it will spawn and not despawn. So what is happening right now rapidly around us is Fluttermanes spawning in and out immediately. So this is going to be an insane method, and actually you don't even need to go back and forth. Just go to the Crystal Rock where we did Great Tusk and a bunch of other Paradox Pokemon, and we're just going to sit here. And eventually a shiny Fluttermane will appear. Now, if you start seeing regular non-shiny Fluttermanes appear here, that means it is now nighttime in the overworld, meaning, yeah, you're going to have to go back and forth to get the new spawns to come in. But if you do it during the daytime, especially at the start of the day, which is going to be a full 30 minutes, you can just stand here, and eventually your shiny Fluttermane is going to show up. Of course, you can run around the map and do this as well. You can stand on other crystals. But I like this one because it is a guaranteed 15 spawns right here, which is the max amount of spawns. So eventually, a shiny Fluttermane is just going to eventually pop up here. And of course, I got the shiny charm and the shiny sandwich level 3. So, you know, I got really good odds of getting this shiny within a sandwich. There we go. Shiny Fluttermane, 11.5 on the sandwich. I didn't move at all. It was just showed up here. So there we go. This is how this method works. It's literally the easiest shiny Paradox to get. Also, this is literally the best Paradox Pokemon in the competitive meta right now. So if you want to like win on the ladder, highly recommend getting a shiny Fluttermane to show off. Now for our next hunt, we're gonna go for Brute Bonnet, and we're gonna be going for a grass type sandwich by using 1 lettuce, 1 salty, and 1 sour. And back to Research Area 4 once again with a grass type sandwich. We can see the Brute Bonnets are coming in, and once again we're going to the crystal spot because this spot is just too damn good. And the shiny for Brute Bonnet is gonna be incredibly obvious. Instead of the red Pokeball color, it's going to be blue, like a Master Ball, like a blue purple, I would say. And of course, at the crystal here, you get your 15 spawns. You know, get to the front here on the crystal. Hopefully, we get it pretty quick, and get your 15. And then when you get enough spawns here, like okay, that looks like about like 15 spawns to me. We're gonna walk it back, of course, walk slowly. Despawn them all. Come back, respawn them all, and hopefully you get this shiny within a sandwich or two. Now for our next hunt, we're going to go for a fairy type sandwich, and this is going to allow us to get Screamtail. And to make a fairy type, and there we go. We got Sparkling Title and Counter level 3 for fairy type Pokemon and ready to begin this hunt. Now once again, Research Area 4, you know we're going the crystal location. Now I do want to mention this is not an isolated shiny hunt because we will get Fluttermanes, but we haven't seen a single Fluttermane yet because Screamtail has such a higher priority on the spawn list for the fairy types that you may get a couple of Fluttermanes spawning in, but you definitely won't be able to shiny hunt it. So I would say for every 15 fairy spawns, you're going to get 12 to 15 Screamtails and about 1 to 2 or 3 Fluttermanes showing up. Now the shiny for Screamtail is going to be very obvious. It's going to have red eyes, and as you can see, we got like, what, 2 Fluttermanes there, so pretty much on point with exactly what I said. So the shiny for Screamtail is going to be very obvious. It's going to have like a purplish tail, and it's going to have some red eyes to it, and it's going to stick out in the crowd, so you don't really have to worry about trying to get it. Of course, if you happen to get Fluttermane with this, Fluttermane's going to be all green as well, so both of these are going to be incredibly easy shinies for you to see, and good luck on your shiny hunt. Now for our next shiny hunt, we're going to go for Sandy Shocks, and we're going to be using 1 yellow bell pepper, one salty, and one spicy. There you go, sparkling, title, and counter power level 3, and ready to start this hunt. Now to shiny hunt sandy shocks, we're going to be going to research area 2, and we're going to be making a left right here. You will see a bunch of Raichus and Pawmis on the way. If you want to shiny hunt those, you can. There's going to be a phenomenal spot for these guys as well. But when we get to this mountain area, the only Pokemon that's going to spawn in this little mountainous zone is going to be sandy shocks. And it's going to be a very easy shiny to tell. It's going to be like an orange one. So you have two methods. You can either run back and reset and make sure all of them disappear. And then you walk forward and then you will get more sandy shocks coming in. And of course, you know, you are sharing spawns between the grass in here as well. So, you know, it's going to be up to you. But of course, there's another area you can go up to. If you don't want to do it right here, you can actually go up and climb the hill over here. And I like climbing up this hill and going between the two zones because it ends up being a little bit faster in my opinion. And you are pretty much only going to be getting the sandy shocks up here as well because you are like deep enough into the mountain where, okay, it's like the only thing that's going to spawn is the sandy shocks. And you don't get your shiny right here, then you just jump back down the hill and then you're going to get a bunch of new sandy shocks to look between, and you can just keep walking in between the two sections and eventually you'll get your shiny sandy shocks. And like I said, very obvious gold body. It should be very easy for you to notice. You don't even have to pay attention to anything else. And good luck on this shiny hunt. For our last Pokemon Scarlet hunt, we're going to be making a dragon type sandwich and we're going to be using one avocado and double salty. There we go, sparkling, title, and counter level 3 for dragon type Pokemon, and ready to begin this hunt. And now for Roaring Moon, we're going to research area 3, and from the research station we're gonna be making a left and we're gonna be hugging this left wall over here because this is how you get to this secret Roaring Moon cave, and it's actually the only location you can even hunt this thing in the first place. So we're gonna hug this wall, go through this secret little cave, and bam, a Roaring Moon is already out here. But we want to actually hunt in the middle of this cave here, right over here. And we're going to get in a good amount of dragon types showing up. And now the best way to shiny hunt for Roaring Moon is honestly going to be walking around this room and panning your camera around while you're walking. You'll actually get a good amount of spawns coming in and out. And if you do sprint, you can very easily miss some spawns. And you just need to do it around in the room in like a circle, right? Because you get a lot of spawns coming in behind you, and that's really where the Roaring Moons are going to be. They're not necessarily going to be right in front of you. And of course, you do want to make sure that you don't walk into some of the other ones. This one can take a little bit of strategy and skill to get down, but you don't want to run around. If you run around, you're going to be missing a lot of spawns. You'll potentially miss a shiny, but most of the spawns will actually end up coming around you and behind you. So just keep that in mind while you're hunting for shiny Roaring Moon. Now, this shiny is going to be very obvious. It's going to be a green shiny, and that's gonna be super easy to notice. But the other thing is, because we are doing a dragon type sandwich, and even if you did a dark type sandwich, you will still be boosting the swellows that appear around you. So keep in mind that you are boosting the swellow shiny odds, which is gonna be green. You're also gonna be boosting the spawns of the Gibble and the Gabite as well, and those are going to be very obvious to tell too, so just keep that in mind while you're doing this hunt. And it only took 8 minutes in the first sandwich, but yes, the strategy worked. Shiny Roaring Moon, there we go. If it's in the air, you are going to have to throw a ball at it, but absolutely beautiful shiny. And now we can move on to our Pokemon Violet hunt. Now for our first Pokemon Violet hunt, we're going to be doing Iron Bundle. I'm doing this in multiplayer for myself. So I did the 4 cucumbers and 1 pickle and 2 pretty much any Herba Mystica strat for this. There you go, sparkling, title, and counter level 3 for water type Pokemon, ready to begin this hunt. And with a water or an ice type sandwich, we're going to be heading down to research area 4. And just like with our Scarlet hunts, we're all going to be going back to that crystal reset because it's just too good. So we're going to make a right down here, and then we're going to jump on top of the crystals here, and we're going to go to the second crystal and then look to the rock on the right. And you're going to be able to reset this spawn and hopefully get your Chrome shiny. Now to note that pretty much all the shinies in Pokemon Violet for the paradoxes are going to be some sort of Chrome shiny, so they're going to stand out for the most part. Iron Bundle stands out especially well because instead of that red, it's going to be like a metallic silver. Now to spawn this group of Iron Bundles, we're going to go back and then forward. And then once we're at the edge again, we're going to get another 15 spawns. Notice how some of them will fall off. So hopefully you don't get a shiny that falls off and despawns itself, because that would be a tragedy. Odds are very low of that happening, but hey, it's happened to me before with an Iron Valliant. So just keep that in mind. but hopefully you'll be able to get this shiny within a sandwich or two. And there we go, with literally like 2 minutes and 40 seconds into the sandwich, we get our shiny iron bundle. Very obvious and fantastic Pokemon in the VGC meta as well, so I highly recommend getting this. And there we have it. Let's move on to our next shiny hunt. And once again, we're in research area 4, and now we have an electric type sandwich, meaning we're only gonna be getting iron hands out here. And of course, we are going to the area where we can crystal reset for a shiny iron hands, which is once again on top of these 2 crystals. And then we're going to do the back and forth method until we get eventually our shiny iron hands. Now, an electric type sandwich is going to be pretty good because not only you can get iron hands, but you can also get Iron Thorns here. So this is like a 2-for-1 deal in general in area 0, but only here in this spot that you can actually get iron hands. Now, the shiny for Iron Hands is actually right there. It is full chrome. It does not have a blue head. And we managed to get the shiny Iron Hands immediately. You can see the big difference is it is full chrome, meaning looking at the other ones here, does not have the blue head, does not have the blue pants either. And that's the shiny Iron Hands done. That was fast and easy. I mean, sometimes you get that crazy shiny luck. And let's move on to our next shiny hunt. So our next shiny hunt is going to be Iron Thorns by using an electric type sandwich. So you just did the Iron Hands, then you can easily just continue your sandwich. And from research area 2 right here, we're going to be going up and to the left. And there's a bunch of other Pokemon do spawn. There's the Palmy line, Raichus, Iron Thorns. However, when you are going to this mountain area, you're only going to be getting Iron Thorns spawning, and you're going to get a lot of Iron Thorns. Now, shiny Iron Thorns is very obvious. Instead of the green body, it's going to be a chrome color. Now, you don't only have this area. You can actually run up this wall here, so you're going to have to run up and then jump and then climb up here as well. It can be a little bit iffy to get the climbing to actually occur, but once it actually happens, you'll be able to get to another mountainous zone where it's going to be only Iron Hands again. So you can just filter through these 2 areas and see, okay, I don't see the shiny. Now I'm just going to go down the slope here, which is much easier going down than up, that's for sure. And then you should see, okay, there's a bunch of Iron Thorns. Is there my shiny? No shiny. Shiny's going to be chrome once again, so super obvious to tell. And hopefully you get this shiny within a sandwich or 2. And once again, we're at research area 4 with a flying type sandwich. And with this one, we're going to be able to hunt for Iron Jugulis. Now, we are going to go back to the crystal spot because it is once again the best spot to hunt this Pokemon with a flying type sandwich in Pokemon Violet. So we're going to go to the right. We're going to jump onto the crystals here and get onto the secondary crystal, and then we'll be able to get our 15 spawns when we're in front of the crystal right here. And Iron Jugulis, super easy to notice. The black on it is going to be a full chrome color if we get that shiny. And we're going to go back, and we're going to go back and forth until we eventually get our shiny Pokemon. Hopefully you get this within a sandwich or 2. And next up, we're going to shiny from for Iron Treads with a steel type sandwich. And you can see there's tons of these Iron Treads out here. It's going to be relatively easy to see the shiny because the shiny, once again, is going to be a chrome color instead of like the silver gray that it currently has. So instead of that gray, it's going to be more of a brighter steel color. And once again, we're going to the crystal location because it's going to be super easy to hunt for this thing. And once again, we're going to be going towards the front of this crystal here. We're going to get our 15 spawns of our Iron Treads. And then when we get our 15 spawns, we're going to come back down, and we are going to be going to the back, then going to the front, and hopefully get your Iron Treads within a sandwich or 2. And now we have a fairy type sandwich with encounter level 3, of course. And we're going to be shiny hunting for Iron Valliant here. Now, Iron Valliant is going to be, once again, spawning in the phenomenal crystal reset area where we can very easily shiny hunt for this thing. And Iron Valliant with a fairy type sandwich is going to be the only thing that spawns on this rock too. And the shiny for it is going to be similar to all the other iron ones, where it's going to be full on a chrome shiny. So we go to the front of this rock, and we're just going to be looking for a full chromed out Iron Valliant. After we get our 15 spawns, we don't see a shiny. We're going to be going back and forwards. And the shiny for this is super easy because essentially if the green head is just going to be silver, then you know you got your shiny. So any green aspect of it that's going to be chromed out, then you're gonna have your shiny right there. And for our final shiny hunt, we're gonna be doing Iron Moth. And Iron Moth can be isolated shiny hunt by going to research area 1 and by using a fire type sandwich. Now once you've done the fire type sandwich, we're gonna be going down to the left and we're gonna see a bunch of Iron Moths. Now the shiny for Iron Moth can be rather difficult to tell, but essentially when you look at the Iron Moth, its antennae is going to be chrome color, its body is going to be chrome, and the red tips on the wings are also going to be chrome as well. So it isn't too hard to tell, but you do got to look at each Iron Moth. It's not going to be the most obvious thing. Now from research area 1, you can just keep on going down this route past these trees here. You're going to see so many of them. And essentially, once you get to this mountainous area to the front of us, where we did the Iron Thorns hunt, that's where we're going to stop seeing the Iron Moth. So pretty much just do a couple of laps in between Research Area 1 and this rocky spawn area, and eventually you'll get your shiny Iron Moth. Now, this is probably going to be the hardest one to hunt for Pokemon Violet, so good luck to you guys, and hopefully you get it fast and easy. And of course, guys, if you enjoy my content, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys next time with more Pokemon content and other gaming action. Peace out and have a great one.